Hello and welcome everyone. Happy Thursday. So thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Sarah Reed. I'm the Director of Marketing here at BrainCell. And today we will be comparing two business tools, PandaDoc and DocuSign. But before we dive in, I just want to take care of a few housekeeping items. If you have any questions during today's presentation, please type them into the question box in your control panel, and I'll bring them up during the discussion. We'll also save some time at the end of the presentation for questions. Additionally, I just want to mention that this session is being recorded, and we will share it with you via email. You can expect to see that in your inbox likely tomorrow morning. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Sonia Friedel, and President of BrainCell, to kick things off. Hey, Sonia.
Hey, Sarah. Thanks so much for putting this on today. And it's great to be here. Again, I'm Sonia Friedel, President here at BrainCell. There's my friend, Damon John. No, I just met him at a book signing, but it was great. Just before we dive into a couple slides, and we will be doing a live demonstration, BrainCell is based in the Boston area. We help companies grow with technology and process. And we are expert in a lot of different products, ERP and accounting solutions, CRM, BI, customer service, and marketing automation as well. And today we're going to talk about two beautiful applications that help make those apps even more sticky and successful for your team. So again, just one of the amazing types of technology that we're a fan of because people succeed with it. So the things that we're going to dive into today feature comparisons between DocuSign and PandaDoc. We're going to look at what CRM integrations are out there and what other kind of integrations they have. I'm going to do a live demo of both. We're going to do a cost comparison too. We've got the slides on that and Q&A throughout the demonstration. And as Sarah said, please put your questions into that question box if you have any throughout this presentation. So let's get right into it. Feature comparisons. Here we've got a nice chart showing DocuSign features and PandaDoc features. I'm going to start though with a big overarching statement that DocuSign came first. They've been around for quite a while, and they were really the trailblazers in the e-signature space. PandaDoc has been around for a few years, I believe over 5. But they are more of a proposal and document generation system, and they also do e-signature. So that is the biggest difference between the two apps, DocuSign being really an e-signature app and PandaDoc doing a lot more than that, and we'll get into it when I show both products. So both are legally binding. E-signature technology has really been adopted and is now the norm. Maybe you've refinanced your house or signed a mortgage. Even the real estate industry is using e-signature, which is great. So it's trusted and we don't have to worry much about that anymore. They do come with some templates, which are nice. So we'll show those as we go on here, but we do have some nice templates that will actually help you create documents, put merge tags in them, which we'll go over, and then have them available to your users. And again, we'll go over all these fine points on our demonstrations, and custom workflows. We'll even talk about that, and the CRM integrations we'll get a little more into. Here we go. So we've got now showing that overarching difference here in the fact that PandaDoc does a lot of document creation. So you can see here we can create and edit documents, which we'll show. You can actually see who opens them and how long they're on each page, team performance. We'll get into all of this, and even lock and share content. So that's not anything that you can do with DocuSign. These are things that are pretty unique to PandaDoc. CRM integrations out of the box, supported by DocuSign, or Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics CRM integration. And then there's several others, because remember, this isn't just a tool that's meant to attach to your CRM. You can always use DocuSign too with SAP. There are some other systems out there that are just really like document management systems that integrate with DocuSign as well. If you're coming from a pure CRM standpoint, Salesforce and Dynamics are the only ones that are out of the box configured for DocuSign. There are also some third-party ones out there. So I know that there is a Sugar CRM integration with DocuSign that's just made by a third party. So fine distinction there. Now, why the heck does PandaDoc integrate with so many? Well, you'll see when we do a little bit of a demonstration here, the integration between the CRM and PandaDoc is a very strong one for a reason, and you'll see that when I go into the demonstration. Really, the huge benefit of PandaDoc is being able to slurp in a lot of the content that's in your CRM and put that into a document template, again, which we'll show. And that's the reason they have so many integrations. They're also a small, nimble company. Again, they've been around for over 5 years. DocuSign, much larger organization, and they just are probably not as nimble on building these integrations. So let's get into the live demonstrations of both applications. I'm going to start with DocuSign. And Sarah, let me know if everyone can see this okay.
Yep, we can see our screen.
Great. All right, fantastic. So here we've got DocuSign, which I'll show you the login process. So this is my DocuSign home. You can see right from here, I can start something new right away. I can also go to reports, and I can see, I love these, that I've saved 4 trees lately, and a bunch of water by not printing, which is great. It will show, you know, how many things are completed. That's great. It doesn't really show time to close. I'll compare these to some of the reports and dashboards that we'll see in PandaDoc when we get there, that this is about what we can pull as far as statistics go in DocuSign. Now, I do have a template area. Again, this is where I can set up templates. You know, I've got a few here. Then I'll just show really quick. I've got an NDA template. These are things that need to be signed frequently. These are not just a proposal, let's say. You know, this is our mutual NDA, and it's already lined up to be signed by both parties. So this is just an example of a template. Now, I'm going to go back home and we'll start getting some new signatures. So right from here, I can sign my own document. So if someone sent me an partially executed NDA, I could upload it here and just sign it right away. I could use a template, which we just saw, or I can also send an envelope. And this could be something from my desktop. So this is, again, the large distinguisher between PandaDoc and DocuSign is mostly that I'm not creating the document in DocuSign. I've already created my proposal on Word in a different system, and it's sitting on my desktop, ready for me to upload and send for signature. That's all I'm doing here. So I'm going to upload it. Today it's right here. I've got a PDF that's sitting on my desktop, and great, it's a work order. Awesome. I'm going to put in my name. I can put in someone else's name, like my client, if I want them to sign it. And I can give them an email message here. This will show up as the subject line in the email. And then I can say here, dear client, please review and sign. Great. Now we'll go next. And right here, it sets up the work order. And now I can simply go down to the bottom. This is, again, something that I've already created on my desktop. And right now I'll just pull in the signature blocks, my name, title, date, and I also have a plethora of custom fields too that I can have in here. So this gets a little deeper than PandaDoc, I will say. These are custom tags, approvals, disapprovals, things like that, that hold text. And you'll see what I mean when we're showing Panda. But this is just to put in my e-signature data. So at this point, I'd say send. It would send me an email. It would send my client an email if I have them in here as a recipient. If I wanted the client to sign, I would add them as a recipient. I'd edit here. And then I'd be able to toggle to a different color. These are called tokens or tags. And I would then drag them in for my client to sign. So we'd both be signing in our designated areas, and this would be legally binding. and then delivered once fully executed in PDF format. I will have this living in my DocuSign portal for eternity until I discontinue use of the product and stop paying them. Or I can download that PDF and keep it, let's say, you know, in the CRM or in a local file share, something like that, even on my desktop. Now, before I hit send, I will say that the CRM integration on the DocuSign side is good. I can, right from, let's use Salesforce as an example, I can be in a Salesforce record and I can say, you know, create DocuSign. Several items from my Salesforce record can be ported in automatically. So this full name, if I had it on the client side here, let's just say, then the full contact name from Salesforce would be ported into the tags here and pre-fill it for the client. So all of the values from Salesforce are being pushed in to a document, you know, even the person's title, and then all they have to do is sign it and date it. Filled in by the client and executed, I can then, the Salesforce integration will slurp back in the executed document and store it in Salesforce. Really, really interesting. I'm going to press send. And I can sign it now. And I'll just show you the process of what that looks like as we go through the signing process. All right, so I'm asked to continue. And now I can start and go down all the way to the tags.
Okay, so that's the whole process of executing a DocuSign from start to finish. Now, here we are in PandaDoc, switching over, and you can see here I've got a little bit more data, and I can also see if I go into a reporting section, the time it takes to close, how much revenue is generated, who is sending the most, and who's getting signed and completed. So that's pretty good. Great. I'm gonna go back to the dashboard and we're gonna start a new document. Just like we did with DocuSign, I want to mimic the exact same process that we did. Now, a couple different options I can do. I've got templates, so this is kind of similar here, but the functionality is going to be much different. So I can upload just like I could just to get something signed. And the only time I do this is if, again, a client has sent me something partially executed and I want to just send it back to them. Then I upload it and I just throw the PandaDoc signature tags in there and I send and I sign. Great. Now, what I can also do is just go to my templates instead, and I can actually start that proposal. So I'm not doing it on my Word, on my desktop. I'm actually going to be doing this right through the tool. So here I am and starting a new work order template. So I'm not just getting this signed. I've got a tag here for the client, and I've also got the ability to say, okay, everything that's marked as a Braincell field, have me sign it. Everything with the client field, have the client sign it, whoever that may be. I'm going to back up one little step and say that if you start this PandaDoc proposal from either, Salesforce, Sugar CRM, Microsoft, whatever CRM that you're using, just like I was talking about with the DocuSign Salesforce integration, let's say you are in Sugar CRM and you want to start a proposal using PandaDoc, you can just start right from the contact or opportunity or account in PandaDoc or in Sugar rather, and you can say create PandaDoc, and all of the tags or client information from that record in Sugar will be ported into the document template, much like I was talking about with DocuSign. However, what you're going to see next is very different. So we'll start editing. Now I'm not starting this from my CRM, so it's a bit different of a flow, and you'll see here what I mean. So it's telling me that I have 8 unfilled tokens. That's the yellow stuff that you're seeing here in this document. The huge difference is that this is editable. I'm able to go in here and change what's in this document from the template that was created by our team and fill it in with my client's information. So they're using QuickBooks currently. Great. I'm really, the person who set up this template really drove our staff to fill things in with proper information. We're trying to standardize, right? So really easy. If I'm in the CRM, all of these will be pre-filled from the CRM, no problem. I can just go in here and say, you know, Acme Inc. And then every single tag throughout will be changed to Acme Inc. or my client's name. I can go right here and say, all right, let's go to the image library and use my company's logo or my client's company's logo. Looks pretty nice, right? So this is a full proposal building tool or document management and creation tool. As I go down here, I can see images and a very interesting pricing table here. So this is called a pricing table in PandaDoc. And what I have the ability to do is set up pricing items. You can think of them as SKUs, inventory or non, that you're giving your team the ability to put into their pricing table. So I can set up Expensify and say that the annual cost is $100. It can actually be stored though in the pricing table. So it comes in as an item for $100 and our clients are going to buy 10 of those. Great. If I wanted to, I could go in here and change the setting and add a discount. It's going to be a line item discount right there for 10%. So you can see where I'm going as I'm building out a complete quote from start to finish, even with pricing. And I'm still able to get this signed with an e-signature. As we move up here, you can even see I've really put in and standardized things for people in this template. These are ones that we use. I can see here that I've got some SKUs that I can just go in and say, all right, the client doesn't need this one. So let's go right down here and change a user license. Let's see here. From one of these to, let's say, 10. Great. It's a good one. Everything gets tallied in these fields. Everything gets added up. And here we go. That's the grand total that goes back into my dashboard so this can be reported on. I can then go down to the bottom and see here that Acme Inc. has a lot of fields to sign. I need to put in who the client is at Acme. I can assign these fields. When I send this document, they'll get a very friendly message, very similar to DocuSign, the same kind of email delivery. I'm able to put in my personal message. They can then look at the document, click in on email, get to the signature page, just like you're seeing here, and execute the document. Just like with the DocuSign and Salesforce integration, the same thing happens here in Panda with your CRM integration, where then there's a live link in the CRM record to show that something's actually been executed, and it shows on the CRM record that it's related to. This is huge because as you know, with growing pains of a small company or even a larger company, if you don't have your documents, your contracts, proposals standardized in some file share or space where you can all get them, then they live on people's desktops. This completely solves that issue. They're accessible by searching right within the PandaDoc or DocuSign centers, or you can go into the CRM record and see where that document is linked and it doesn't go away. So that is a crash course in both of the applications. Sarah, do we have any questions so far?
We had one question coming in. I think you had talked a little bit at the legally binding. Are these tools legally binding?
Yeah, they absolutely are. They absolutely are. And 6 years ago, when I bought a house, everything was done over scanning and faxing. And I noticed 3 years ago when I refinanced, everything was done over e-signature. So I think the big paradigm has it's really finally happened where e-signature is legally acceptable and adopted in the States. And we're seeing that a lot more now. And my God, the convenience. So I will say, what are the benefits to a lot of these applications? Well, things are getting signed so much faster. Not only that, but our reps are getting proposals out much faster because it's not a total drag to create a proposal now on your desktop and then go through all of that, search and replace, and God forbid you miss a search and replace and you send something embarrassing. So that's always kind of been the struggle being a sales rep, especially one that's on the move and high velocity. This has really solved that problem.
Yep, definitely. Okay, so we have another question that just came in.
Sure.
It says, in terms of, or in your example, the BrainCell signature, who would sign the PandaDoc? The Sugar user creating the document, or can it be assigned to another user who is responsible for signing certain contracts?
Great question, and great foray into workflow. So both of the applications, PandaDoc and DocuSign, do have some workflow management, meaning they can be routed to approvers first. So it's a little bit beyond the question that was asked, but you can, with PandaDoc, you can have conditional rules, which are amazing, saying if there's a discount over 15%, or if a proposal is worth more than 50,000, then send them to the district manager for approval first. They have to sign it, and then it can be released to the client, or it could be released to, let's say, the sales rep that made it for them to sign, and then the client signs it. So long-winded answer, but you can absolutely add other people as approvers before it goes to the end client.
Yep, that makes sense. And so actually a related question on the other side, are the clients able to delegate the signature to someone else as is done in Adobe Sign?
That's great. Yes, you can do that. So with both PandaDoc and DocuSign, you can do that. You can actually set it as a preference where you can say, yes, people can forward this on and name the new signer. So yes, you can do that.
Great. And then let's see here. We have a few questions coming in. When you create a new document, can you copy and paste in the info? What options are available to format new documents? And can we upload recipient lists via CSV file? So that was like a 3-part question.
Yeah. So keep me honest and make sure I answer them all. But
Okay.
So the upload, the last question, yes, both of these systems, DocuSign and PandaDoc, have the ability to do mass signature collection. In DocuSign, I think it's called a power form. In PandaDoc, it's mass send. So there's that capability. And yeah, so like if a great example would be maybe you change your terms and conditions and you need all of your clients to now agree to them. Yes, you could in both systems, you could do that where you send people the link, they fill out their information, and they agree. So yeah, you can do that. Sarah, remind me of the other 2 parts.
When you create a new document, can you copy and paste in the info, and what options are available to format new documents?
Great. So we're really just talking about the PandaDoc side because DocuSign, you can't do that. So I can't say this enough. It's a little confusing to explain, but with DocuSign, you can only upload documents and then change a couple of things like tags. There's no HTML style editor like you're seeing here, where I can just go in and if I have permission to, I can delete and change something as an end user. If I don't, maybe you don't want your account executives to change the terms, and so you can lock this down so they can't mess with it. But going up here to the top, like this welcome letter is absolutely something that we want our AEs to be able to change, right? So in PandaDoc, you can do that. You can go here and just, delete, add something else. That's totally fine. You cannot do this in DocuSign. And then the ability to copy. So PandaDoc has a new feature where you can start, let's say, with a proposal template. And then once the client wants to go forward, you can transfer information from the proposal template into the work order template. So you can copy information from one PandaDoc into another. You can do that. Another thing though, just to go even further on that question, is you can just go into a PandaDoc that you've made before and copy that and put in the new person's or company's information in the tags and just reuse an old Panda. You can do that as well.
Great. So the next question is around pricing, and I think you may have.
Yeah, we have a slide on that. Yep. I'll go back to the slides really quick, Sarah. Another thing here, there's just so much to get into with Panda. And just to go on that editing, you can, as you're seeing here, these are all of the blocks, and then fields, which are really the fields that are in the e-signature section, but blocks are just that. They're content blocks that I can pull in. So is that question where you're asking about, you know, how can you actually customize these documents? My goodness, like you can do pretty much anything. And then if I want, I can go in here and put a video in, let's say, or maybe just a big old image. And I can do that very easily just by dragging and dropping. So a lot I can do here in Panda.
Before we move on to the pricing, one other question, can we send reminders through PandaDoc to remind clients to sign?
Totally. And another feature I really like, Sarah, is that after I send it, and here we go, document forwarding, that's on, signature forwarding, great. You will actually get, once it's sent, you will actually get links for each person where I can grab that link and email it to them, and it has all their signatures ready in place for them to sign. Or I can set it up in the workflow that, yes, they do get reminders, 2 days after they have not signed. So yes, you can do that.
Very good. I think that covers the questions that we've received so far.
Okay, wonderful. Another small thing that I'll mention, and this is very interesting, because I'm making this document in an HTML style editor here in Panda, I can download this as a Word doc as well. PandaDoc is working on a redline feature for legal. However, if any of you have worked with lawyers, no offense to any lawyers out there, they're going to want to work in Word and use track changes most likely. So that's why this feature exists, is so that you can download this HTML style. It really usually comes out as a PDF in Word, and then lawyers can go after it and do their red lines. So a lot I can do here. All right, let's go back to my comparison doc here. And we're going to do a little cost comparison. Great. All right. So we've got PandaDoc up now, and you do have the ability to get a nice little individual user license without connecting it to CRM. And you can have the full document editor and make 60 documents a year for $9, which is crazy, per month. And then you can see the price goes up, and then we're at business. I am able to create documents from CRM with the business edition. So really, if you're talking, the version that we use, we have both applications internally, and business is fine because that connects to the CRM. You're able to port in fields from your CRM with the business edition of PandaDoc. And then there's a little more features on the enterprise side, which is custom quoted out. And that does include the content locking like we talked about, so not everyone can change every single field. And some other things are in the enterprise version of Panda. And that's per user per month. Now going here to DocuSign, the personal, it's very similar for $10 a month. Really, not many people do that. In order to get any sort of CRM integration, you're looking here at the advanced solution. And then you've got Business Pro at $40. And what is collecting payments? That's really neat. Both PandaDoc and DocuSign, you can collect payment. So that means after you've signed something, maybe you bring someone to, let's say, a Stripe page or PayPal where someone can then pay for what they just purchased, or maybe even a down payment or something right within DocuSign or PandaDoc. And that shows it as paid in the document as well. All right, and you can see here that most people are at the advanced, which is a custom quote, because you can only have up to 3 users with business. So they're really pushing everyone to the advanced. So, questions?
Another question came in. Is there an audit
Yeah.
history showing who received, viewed, signed a PandaDoc?
Yes, love it. So I am going to go into my documents and show you guys something quick here that's already been signed or looked at. And one just happened this morning. It's just a referral agreement. And this is not a very exciting one, but this was signed. Let's go to the audit trail. So yes, the answer is yes. And 2 hours ago it was sent. This is my actual location. This is the email when I sent this off to the partner. This was my message to him. And I can see just about everything here, including that Bill opened it right away. Right after I sent it, he opened it, he viewed it, and then we all completed it right away. This was a really fast one. And there's even more than that. I can see exactly not only that Bill looked at it, but that he spent approximately 2 minutes looking at it. And I can see exactly where he looked, which page. And I love this because sometimes I'll spend, you know how it is as a sales rep, sometimes we'll spend hours putting together a proposal and we see that our client maybe viewed it for, 2 minutes and it was just the pricing page. So that does happen. But yeah, we can see exactly where someone looked. And I have the same sort of audit trail in DocuSign as well. It doesn't give me really as much detail, but it still does have a very good audit trail.
Great. Another question. For quotes with discounts, is it possible to set an expiration date to close the deal?
Great question. Yes. I mean, you could do that in a few different ways. So you could have the document expire. There's actually a setting where you're able to do that in Panda. What we do too is going back here to my original document. Here we go. Is sometimes we'll just put it in the text that it does expire, but you can actually have the expiry date of a document in both applications. So that would work.
Great. I think that's it.
All right. Well, we'll bring this up one more time. And really exciting going through these two tools. It's not anything that we've ever done before. I don't know if anyone's ever done it live, Sarah. So thanks everyone for following us and attending. And we'll be sure to follow up with the recorded asset, Sarah, as you said, and follow up with some of you individually.
Yes. Thank you, Sonia, for doing this for us. We appreciate it.
Okay.
And thanks all for joining.
Thank you. Bye-bye.